Can you hear me now? Hello?
Are we live?
It looks like you're live. If we only give it just a minute, we're about a minute ahead.
Okay. Tony, can you hear us yet?
I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me. Can you?
Cute. They don't look cute in orange and blue.
No. Can you hear me?
Do you have the official clock, Vivica?
I believe we are ready. I was just gonna make sure.
Tony's sound is on.
Tony, are you able to hear us?
I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Here, but he can't.
We
Yeah,
can't
it looks
hear
like it's
him.
picking up voice.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Let's see.
Thank you all for your patience. Little technology glitch here. To start any second now.
Hey, Tony, can you say something?
Can you hear me?
I hear him.
Oh yeah, now we're
All right,
here.
we hear you now.
So you get the
All right.
volume.
We just got to turn the volume up.
He does, or we
All
do.
right. Well, I can speak louder.
Could be a mix. I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to get the right mix.
Tony, can you try again? We're just working on the mics here.
Okay. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, testing.
Okay, it's getting better. Give us just a few minutes here.
Well, I can speak louder.
Yeah, it's really quiet, Tony. So.
Right now.
Try it now, Tony.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Working on the mics.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, testing.
Okay, it's getting better. Give us just a few minutes here.
That's the. That's interesting.
What, the tubes are warming up or what?
That's right.
Okay, Tony, I think we have you as high as we can get you. Can you try again?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Now we don't hear him.
We just lost you.
Try again.
Try again, Tony.
With the AirPods, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we barely hear you, Tony.
Barely have you.
Okay, that didn't make any difference then. I thought maybe it was
There you are.
not.
There you are.
Hey, say something again.
Can you hear me?
Better. Gonna go up higher. Okay.
Tony, talk loud when you talk, okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we got you. Here we go. Okay.
All right. Well, hold on a minute. I gotta close this door then. If I'm gonna be yelling.
I'm going
Oh,
to.
actually, we're hearing you better. Good now. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, everyone, for your patience while we.
Yeah, thank you
figure
all
this
for
out.
your patience. I'm going to call the meeting to order, the September 10th, 2025 meeting of the Rockbridge County Planning Commission. Meeting is officially started. We have one member participating electronically. Commission member Sabrizi, are you present?
I'm here.
Okay, is there anything you want to read or anything, or?
Yeah. I am participating in today's planning commission meeting electronically from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where I am vacationing. That's my statement, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, thank you very much. Roll call. Commission member Sabrizi is participating electronically. Commission member Kramer.
Yeah.
Commission member Sandridge.
Here.
Commission member Whitmore.
Here.
Commission member Beebe is me, and I'm here also. In addition to citizens attending the meeting in person, citizens have several options to view or participate in the Zoom meeting webinar as described below. We will do our best to take citizen comment remotely. There are two options for citizens to offer comment. To join the Rockbridge County Planning Commission Zoom webinar, the link is available on the county website to copy into the address line on your browser. To join by telephone, you may dial into one of the numbers listed on the county website. Webinar ID and password are there for your convenience. Citizens wishing to simply view the meeting live or after the fact can do so on the Rockbridge County Planning Commission YouTube channel, also available on the county website. If you wish to make a citizen comment as a Zoom meeting participant, you will use the raise your hand feature. You can press the raise hand button on the bottom of your Zoom window or press *9 if you are calling in by telephone. At this time, we will proceed with the meeting. Are there any citizens here physically present to speak?
There's no one signed up for general citizen comments.
Okay, and these are the general comments per individual action. You'll have another chance to speak. Okay. There's no one physically present to speak. Is there anyone that wishes to participate via Zoom or phone?
I see no hands raised.
Okay. Do we have has you all read the minutes and had a chance to review them? Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as is.
Not second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna, I guess I'm supposed to abstain since I wasn't at the last meeting.
Thank you.
Before you move on, I did have a couple questions in terms of what went on last thing, if you don't mind. The thing about the site plan approval process, I was maybe approached this to Mr. Dryden. It seemed like to me it's not required, but we could still require it, and it's still technically required by our regulations. Is that not correct?
No, we can't. The planning commission, by statute, we had to appoint what do we call the agent? What is the zone?
A designated agent.
Designated agent. And the designated agent has the administrative responsibility to review and present to the board of supervisors for approval the site plan. And actually, you don't need to go board of supervisors. Am I saying that correctly? No,
correct.
Sorry. So it's just purely administrative action. The designated agent would approve site plans that are submitted. And it's clear, they specifically removed the planning commission and made it clear that planning commission cannot be the designated agent. So the role the planning commission can play, we can still have the planning commission play a role, but it would be an advisory role to the designated agent. And we cannot add any additional time for review for the planning commission to have an opportunity to look at it. It still has to be done within, I believe it was 60 days, if I remember correctly, from the time of submission until the determination by designated agent. So it does actually substantially change the role that the planning commission plays. But our designated agent, who is Chris Slayton, wants to make sure that the planning commission has a role to play as part of the public voice in any of these. So we're working on that right now, but we assume it'll be presented to the planning commission, and the planning commission then can present questions or separately provide some advice to the agent and what their feelings are on it.
Yeah, I'm personally, I mean, the ones we've done so far, I kind of feel like a lot of that, the detail is well beyond at least my ability to do an adequate review and approval. So I don't personally care. I just, looking at the legal standpoint, it kind of read as if maybe we could still do it and we need to get rid of it out of the current regulations a little bit quicker than we than maybe we have to now that you're saying it basically makes what's in our land development regulations moot in terms of state law.
That's correct.
Okay. One other question that last meeting, I was under the impression that there would be some discussion of the draft solar ordinance and getting it out. And I guess the meeting decided to do it tonight. But since then, we've had some communication that says we're going to slip it out a while yet. One of the things that I had done prior to the meeting, since I wasn't going to be there, I sent some comments. Some of the comments I brought up at like the joint meeting and all. And one of the things I'm just trying to figure out, I'd like to get those comments on the record somewhere. We don't have meeting minutes for the community development committee, and I don't think we had anything from the joint meeting that we had. So I'm just trying to figure out how and when to do that, and that might be more to the staff
So
side.
is it all right if I answer that? It's
Absolutely, John.
yeah, I think what the way that we have to treat those when individual commissioners submit questions and stuff is we treat them the same as a citizen submitting them. So they are a part of the official record and that they're kept within the record and a note, and we should state, and I'm not sure if we did last time, that we received comments from. And so so it is what you submitted would be part of the records. Now, how do you normally do that, Viveka?
So it's not included in the minutes or anything per the bylaws, is my understanding.
So how would the comments from community members normally be? What do you
Typically,
normally?
the chair just acknowledges that we have received, say, 2 comments on this item.
And they're kept in your office. So
Correct.
if people want to receive them, they can make a FOIA request to receive them.
Correct.
And so, okay.
Well, why don't I do this? Why don't, Tony, we have that document. Can I recommend that we get it in the minutes as a citizen comment or not?
I mean, you can actually, now I haven't looked at the bylaws again, so it depends on what your bylaws are, but you could say, you could have it included within the minutes without actually having to be read out loud, just as we could, make a statement for a member who wishes to participate electronically does not have to state specifically where they are, but within the minutes, we need to actually have it in there so we can add things in the minutes that aren't specifically spoken in the meeting. So you could, though I haven't looked at the bylaws, see if there's a restriction in the bylaws, but we could actually attach them to the minutes and then they would form part of the record of the meeting. So, but I think that might be best something that maybe afterwards, that because the Office of Community Development has the secretarial responsibility for this committee. So I think they would probably are best suited to make a recommendation on the best way to handle that. But from a legal point of view, I think you could. I think we just have to check our bylaws to see if there's any restriction on it. And so, but at any rate, I mean, it's the normal way would be that we'd acknowledge we received the comments, and I think it's worthwhile considering if we attach them to the minutes, so therefore they're more easily accessible to members of the public.
Yeah, that's the same. I mean, right now is that there's no record that that I even submitted them, and so therefore, even if somebody was online and looked at the minutes, they wouldn't even have seen anything there. And so there's no reason for them to do a Freedom of Information Act thing because they don't even know it exists. So.
Okay, good. My suggestion might be to the chair and Viveka, share your thoughts on it, that maybe that's just something that you could request that the Office of Community Development take under advisement and make a recommendation to the chair. It's the best way to make sure these such comments are accessible. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm just trying to, most of the comments I don't think are going anywhere, but I do feel strongly about them that they were developed based on the 2 solar ordinances that are solar requests that we had, and that I think it maybe won't satisfy everybody, but it does address a lot of the comments that we heard in both of those meetings. And I think the fact is that we had 2-3-2 votes on both the solar things. I think it also addresses concerns of other planning commission members that, again, maybe not satisfactory, but.
And Tony, that door is not closed either. You still have one more.
I was going to say, to clarify, I think one of the reasons it wasn't mentioned was because we didn't really have any discussion about it last time. It was simply scheduling the public hearing. And so at the time of the public hearing, the Planning Commission will still have the opportunity to make comments, make changes.
The window's still open, Tony, and we will have one more shot at it.
Okay.
So it was my understanding that it might be better suited for that time, just based on the discussion.
And also members of the Commissioner Cerisi would have the opportunity as a commission member when it's officially brought before the board to make to the commission to make what comments he feels are necessary. So you when you're here when the meeting is actually held to address it, you can, as a commission member, make whatever comments you feel appropriate. But the submission of comments separately are treated as the same submission of comments from the general public too. So for the anyway.
Okay, we can move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. All right, at this moment, we'll take board reports from the staff.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. So since the August 13th Planning Commission meeting, the Board of Supervisors has not considered any recommendations that have been brought forward. So there's nothing to report there. The Tourism Corridor Overlay Board did meet on September 3rd and approved an update or an expansion to the Goodwill Industries facility on Woodcote Lane that involves an interior expansion and then an awning for drop-off of materials. So that was approved and they're moving forward with construction. And then the next community development meeting will be this coming Monday, September the 15th at 12:15.
Thank you, Neil. The first item on the agenda is Joshua and Cassidy Began or Bagan? Began? All right. Public hearing for application for a special exception permit to develop and operate a commercial kennel dog breeding business in the agricultural and general uses A2 zoning district. This is a good time. Does the staff do a presentation first, or we go right to Cassidy?
Yes, just an introduction. So Josh and Cassidy Began, it's 345 Sandstone Lane, Lexington, Virginia, have made an application for a special exception permit to develop and operate a commercial kennel, a dog breeding business in the agricultural and general uses A2 zoning district. The property is owned by Josh and Cassidy Began and is located on the west side of Sandstone Lane, which is a private road, approximately 0.606 miles north of the intersection of Sandstone Lane and Stone Ridge Lane, Route 843. The property is further identified as tax map number 87-9-15, consisting of 21.85 acres per tax records and is in the Buffalo Magisterial District. The property is in the agricultural and general uses A2 district per section 603.03-5 of the County of Rockbridge Land Development Regulations. Commercial kennels are used by special exception in the A2 zoning district.
Thank you, Neil. Cassidy, would you like to take the podium, please? Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all today. Josh would like to send his condolences as he is not able to be here this afternoon. He's home with the kids. My mother-in-law had to step out for some family medical, but we are lifelong residents of the community and proud graduates of Rockbridge County High School. I graduated in 2016 and he graduated in 2015. We are here to request a special exceptions permit to establish a responsible professional German Shepherd breeding program on our privately owned 22-acre property in Rockbridge County. Joshua is a United States Marine Corps veteran and a former Scout sniper. He is a certified canine handler and currently certified with his working dog, Canine Callie, as an explosive detection team. He brings valuable experience in land management, construction, and facility development, all which contribute to maintaining a secure and clean and purpose-built environment for our dogs. I, Cassidy, am certified in obedience with the American Animal Behavior College, an AKC-approved Canine Good Citizen Evaluator, and hold a bachelor's degree in business. I have years of experience working with various breeds and specialize in behavior enrichment and puppy development. Our primary goal is to optimize our property to support the number of litters permitted by the board through a structured, high-standard breeding program focused on health, structure, and temperament. We breed AKC-registered long-hair Western Showline German Shepherds in partnership with an internationally respected dog kennel, the Drago team out of Poland. Through his mentorship, we together, I host a litter, and she stays with me until her litter is ready to rehome, and then she goes back to her home in Poland. We currently have 2 stud males and 2 breeding age females, and we anticipate 1 to 3 litters a year, or their approved amount by the board. Each of our breedings is done. They're fully health tested and in accordance with the AKC breed merit standards. So they have OFA, elbow and hip certifications, the degenerative myopathy testing, which is a disease that could cause death in the German Shepherd dogs, and routine health screenings and veterinary care. Our puppies are raised indoors and handled daily with socialization and early obedience woven into their development. So we are hands-on. The mother and the puppies are raised inside my home. Training is very important to us. It's a central part of our daily lives with our dogs. We train multiple times a week and incorporate structure, obedience, and enrichment into every stage of our breeding program. This is hands-on training, helps us produce well-mannered and mentally sound dogs that thrive in real-world scenarios. We also offer private appointment-based training services to the public. However, no training classes or sessions will be held on our property. So it's all outside, meeting at other people's homes and working outside of the property. Our dogs are housed either inside our home or in a compliant kennel structure appropriate for the breed, with security fenced outdoor areas placed well away from property lines, and waste will be handled in accordance with all county and state regulations. We are committed to being respectful to our neighbors, limiting noise, traffic, and visibility, clean and professional, maintaining a high standard of canine hygiene, and compliant and willing to meet or exceed all conditions set by the board. Joshua built our home with his own hands, and we are proud stewards of our land. This endeavor represents not just our professional pursuit, but also a long-term lifestyle built around our family, dogs, and community, as we have 3 young children under the age of 5. So we have respectfully asked for your support and approval of our request for a special exceptions permit to operate a responsible, health-focused German Shepherd breeding program.
Thank you, Cass.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Stay there just for a second in case we have questions. Gentlemen?
So you said no training of dogs, so you would go to someone else's property to train
Yeah,
them?
we only train our personal dogs on our property.
Do you have fenced areas already?
We do.
I've seen the drawing. This is complete, everything that's on this drawing. Northwest fenced area, southwest fenced area.
We have a horse in the lower field currently, but the other fenced in area, we just sold our goats so that we could have the dogs in there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, good luck keeping a goat fenced.
Exactly.
All right. Bob, do you have anything? Tony?
Yeah, I think that one question you answered. So, I mean, I got the impression that you will be training dogs as well, not just the puppies. So that's been cleared up, I think. So it's really because we've had some other training requests before, and I was kind of concerned is that that it's more of a private school than it was. But now that you're not doing the training, you're only training the litters that you.
Correct. And like I said, we offer training to the public, but not located on our property. This would be if someone came to me asking for help with their border collie that is pulling on the leash, we would go out to their house and help them through that in the public areas or their personal home. They wouldn't come to us for that.
Okay. You're talking about breeding German Shepherds only. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you said you already had, would you say 2 and 2? 2 males, 2 females?
2 breeding females and 2 breeding males.
And so other than the puppies and your personal dogs, there's no boarding going on at all?
No.
Okay. We've had a couple of comments, and they share some of my concerns when you're talking about a kennel, and that's noise and waste and them getting loose, things like those. I mean, those are, I think, all legitimate concerns that somebody might have in the neighbors. And I like the plan that you had. It seems to address those concerns. And so, and one other concern is being on a private lane. People would be driving down that personal lane in terms of purchasing one of the, but that's all the only kind of traffic that you would be generating there would be just when you had a litter and somebody's picking up a dog or coming to see it beforehand.
Well, only on rare occasions would I actually invite someone to my personal property to pick up a puppy. It would be only maybe someone that I knew, that I'm familiar with, because we have small children as well, and we don't have strange people coming to our home either. So we wouldn't really have that much traffic coming into for puppy pickup.
I mean, but wouldn't I mean they might want to? I mean, if I was buying a dog, I'd want to see the dog.
Yes, I have set a plan in mind to. I actually have talked to a pastor where I'm able to meet at a local church that has a play area for children and nice. There's no traffic. It's really safe and a really good place to sit and talk and let people meet puppies and decide if they want to take it or make their decision there.
It sounds well thought out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
We
I have some questions for the staff in terms of possible conditions, but we can hold that off until after the public hearing if you don't mind.
I just wanted to ask while you're up here, we typically put a limit on the number of dogs, and so you have 2 and 2. Do you have a desire to have any more? Because
we have a younger. Well, those are our 2 breeding age animals that are. We have a 10-month-old female. She'll have to go through all of her hip exams and OFA, which is done at usually 14 months plus. So we don't consider them like breedable until those certificates are done. But we don't look to have more than 10 for sure, less than 10 dogs that would potentially be breeders, but we don't look to do that.
Well, I think what David was talking about is once, like, we set a limit on the amount of females and males. If it exceeds, you have to come back and reapply. So that's why we're trying to get a fix
right.
for your overall.
Yeah, I don't see us having more than 10 dogs.
So 5 of each.
5 males, 5 females.
Or would it be 7 females and 3 males or anything you want to try to put
being that I'm working with a very well-known trainer or breeder, I have a ability to source stud males that would not be considered property in our kennel.
But I guess
Addition reads though, but which shall include visiting stud dogs. So
it would include.
Yeah, well, which?
Well, I also have the opportunity to take my females to him, so the stud male may not even ever be on our property.
yeah,
Not
we
sure.
need to fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
What's-
we need-
what's
Okay.
the,
Well, what about a total of 10 male and female rather than 5 female and 5?
those 10 dogs would
That's,
be just fine.
yeah.
That'd be
So
fine.
on the
That work for you?
on the conditions,
Yeah.
there are, so it's excluding puppies 16 weeks or younger and personal pets,
I would say that, I'm sorry.
but which shall include visiting stud dogs, but if
Okay.
they don't come on the property,
Right,
But not the puppies.
Right.
Okay.
16 weeks or younger.
correct. They're usually gone by 8 weeks.
But you were saying 1 to 3 litters a year. 10 dogs sounds like a lot.
We only breed, usually the female, we only breed once a year. And currently, like I said, I only have 2 available breeding females. So this year, we would only have 1 litter.
Since you get
Yes.
rid of the puppies at 8 weeks, roughly 8 weeks, and you don't need, and this part of the paperwork excludes the 16 weeks. and younger, do you want to say 3 female dogs? Do you know what I'm getting at? If you're getting rid of the puppies, placing them in a home, we just kind of want to get it right. You don't want 10 breeding dogs there.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So is
Yeah.
it, I don't know what that number is, but is it 3 or 4 or 5
Females.
females?
I would say
Yeah.
5 females.
Is it? Oh, okay.
That sounds like a good number to me.
2 males.
Yes.
Is that going beyond a small kennel at 5? You know, I don't know. I was under the impression when I'm thinking about 1 to 3 litters, I was thinking again that means some of those females are not going to have a litter in over a year.
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Well, I'm saying if you have 5 female dogs,
He said they're all going to be pregnant at the same time is what he's asking.
No,
or
sir.
within the same year, but they all have litters within the same year, not necessarily pregnant at the same time.
Right. Each female would not necessarily have a litter, and you can't guarantee a litter as well because she may not get pregnant. So I feel like that's hard to determine.
Right.
I think it gives flexibility and allows for growth in the business if need be, is what we're trying to get at.
Yeah, I currently am working 2 days a week at Seasons Yield, and my husband is contracting with his canine. So our goal is for me to stay home and homeschool the kids. So this would hopefully help us do that.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with 5 and 2 if you are.
Is that okay? 5 and 2?
I believe so.
I think that would be plenty of dogs, plus puppies.
And kids.
What's that?
And kids.
And kids. Yeah. Yeah. You want to fill it in that way, Dave, and then I guess we can think on that.
What did we decide on?
I think 5 and 2. I just want to make sure you're comfortable with that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And you're not boarding or grooming.
No.
We talked about it's just German Shepherds. Okay. All right.
Well, I told you I had a comment with the staff. I mean, we've done this. In fact, it's in the one of the ones that we have in there. I did commend on the letter and business description for the special exception permit. I mean, I think it would be, since it does address a lot of the concerns that I would have, and I would believe the neighbors would have, is saying substantial compliance with that document. For some reason, that's not currently in there. And it doesn't limit it to the German Shepherds, although that would be in here as well. Neil, that's for you.
Well, and in the original business plan, there was training. So that has been
Right. We had spoken about
moved
the
at this
possibility
time.
of training, but we hadn't, we don't have the facility currently to have a training school on the property. So maybe in the future, that would be something that we would consider. But as of now, that's not something that we are doing at all.
Okay.
Well, Neil, can you address what I had asked about? You know, they provided a document here. If we need to exclude certain things in their document to be substantial compliance with, then we can do that in the condition as well. I don't know why we wouldn't address, they've got a well thought out plan. We do that with other things. We've always had this concern is that you have somebody that is good at does a great job, is a good neighbor with the special exception, but you don't know, maybe somebody, something happens and they do sell the property, and that would force them to stay within those guidelines.
So at this time, the special exception would eliminate the training portion and just be applicable to the breeding and the 5 conditions that potentially would be considered here would be the breeding and raising in the home, limited German Shepherds, and then the number that would be decided on after the public hearing, and then boarding and grooming operations prohibited, and then compliance with general Rockbridge County land development regulations as far as lighting and other design would be the extent of the special exception
Hey,
permit.
why can't you just modify 4, say boarding, grooming, and training currently prohibited? That's what you're going at.
I believe that there had been discussion about potentially coming back in the future, maybe once you got settled, for doing a training school if you wanted to. And so essentially we would need, if we say no training, we would need to come back and change that at a later time.
That's
Right,
fine.
that's what I was
You're
told.
okay
We
with
would
that?
have, I was told that I would have to do another special exception permit to come back and do the training. And we didn't have the funds at the time to pay $600 for 2 permits.
Understand. Okay.
Understood.
You're informed. We wanted to make sure you understood.
Yes.
Good. Okay. All right.
We got to take public comment. Everybody else have any more questions?
No, wait a minute. We still haven't, are we going to make their plan conditional with those exceptions or not?
Tony, I think we got to take public comment, then we can discuss all that. I don't know. Neil?
I mean, the conditions are the 5 that are laid out tonight. There's nothing beyond that. Those are the 5 conditions that are laid out.
I understand that. We're talking about adding a condition.
We're not talking about adding conditions.
I am.
These are the 5 conditions that are before the commission at this time.
And Tony, a little clarification. You're trying to include their statement as to what they want to do as
Correct.
Substantial compliance.
Correct. Just like we do in other cases of special exceptions.
The concern was that they couldn't be substantially compliant because they wouldn't be able to do the training without another special exception permit. And so the business plan lays out a lot of the training side of things, but at this time they won't be able to pursue that, which they're aware of.
And we can note those exceptions. We can note those exceptions, those differences.
I'm not sure that that's a possibility.
Why not?
Because there's quite a bit of information about the training in the plan, which is great. But at this time, under the current application, it's my understanding that it would be best to not make it conditional on the plans that were submitted.
Well, then I think we should hold this over until another meeting.
Well, the plan that they originally submitted is not in the conditions. Condition number 1 talks about the breeding. It talks about the breeding and raising. Condition number 2 talks about the breeding of a specific breed. And then condition number 3 is the number of female and male dogs. 4 is prohibiting breeding and boarding and grooming. And then 5 is compliance with Rockbridge County LDR. So the original plan as submitted is not part of the conditions.
I'm
proposing that it is.
But Tony, I understand your logic. I understand your logic, Tony, but I think the conditions are basically the same standard we're holding all the other kennels to.
Waste and noise is not addressed. Waste and noise is addressed in their plan.
If I may, just
yeah,
normally the one option is that from a parliamentary Procedure Act is if Commissioner Spreezy wants to make a motion to postpone this consideration to a later date, that'd be appropriate to make it now. Otherwise, it might be the best time to go ahead and open the public hearing, because these things as to what amendments are normally done, another condition or opposed are usually done after the public hearing and during the commission's discussion after the public hearing. So, and at that time, Commissioner Spreezy could make a motion at that time to also table it for postpone is the word to use, for a future meeting, where you can, because after the close of public hearing, you have 3 options. One is to adopt it with the conditions, and then you can impose additional conditions as you would like, or remove the conditions that are here. You're not bound by the one staff proposes. Number 2 would be to deny it. Number 3 would be to postpone it for your next meeting for consideration.
Okay. Once we get to that one, if we take citizens' comments, then just to clarify,
it's
and then
public hearing.
Public hearing. Yeah, go ahead and do the public hearing.
Yeah, we need to open the public hearing and close it. And I would
Yep.
suggest that the discussions are going now might be best handled after the close of
Yep.
the public hearing.
Correct. Okay. Cassidy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We may ask you to clarify some questions,
Okay.
but in the short term, you're done here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we are going to open the public hearing. Is there anyone physically present who would like to speak?
Yes, Mr. Chair, there are two individuals signed up. The first is Kristen Swisher.
I actually submitted a letter. I just wanted to make sure via email. If you guys have already gotten that, I'm not going to sit here and read it to you again.
We did.
That has most of my concerns and are definitely still concerns of mine. The amount of dogs that you guys also kind of were speaking of as far as allowance concerns me a little bit too. As far as the amount, I feel as though it may be a bit much for the area that is there, and I live behind them, and noise is definitely something that I'm concerned about. But like I said in the letter, some safety concerns and some road condition concerns also. So I just don't want to take up any more of your time because you guys have already gotten what I had to say about it for the most part.
And thank you for your.
Thank you very much, Chris.
And to clarify, staff did send that letter on as well to the Planning Commission.
Neil, was there
And the second individual is Jim Cruz.
I want to make it clear that I'm not really opposed to Kristen Johnson's plan. I live about a quarter of a mile away. I just have some questions. I can hear your dog where I live. So I am concerned about how many you had. So
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind? It's probably best because we're keeping a record of this to speak in the mic, and you normally would address the concerns to the commission.
I was concerned about boarding, but it sounds like you're not going to be boarding now. Can you reassure us about the noise level? Will the dogs be inside at night?
What? No,
So this isn't a time for question and answer, just statements to the Planning Commission, and then the Planning Commission can direct questions to the applicant at a later time.
You can ask that question of her. Dave, would you write that down? So we'll make sure we ask that question. Okay.
I'm also concerned about the fencing. Dogs can dig under fences. Concerned about these are German Shepherds. I don't know much about the breed, but they're big dogs. I have grandkids. Are they at risk of running around? If you'd ask about the fencing.
We will.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Procedurally, John, the time to do that would be
At the close, if you close the public hearing.
Yep.
And then you can ask the applicant questions afterwards. That's normally how we do it.
all right. That's everybody that's physically present. Is there anybody Zoom or on the phone?
Do not see anyone with a hand raised.
Okay. All right. Is there any objection to closing the public hearing?
I'm all for it.
Or would the commission like to continue the public hearing to the next planning commission meeting? Close it?
Make a motion.
We have a motion to close. Second.
Second.
No motion needed to close the public hearing.
We're closing. Thank you, Vivica. Yep. With no further comments, we will close the public hearing. Now's a time for us to discuss the application and conditions. Gentlemen?
Hey, well, to address Tony's concern, would changing or adding to condition number 4 to include training satisfy your concern? I think I understood what your concern was, but
Now, I had said that earlier, and Vivica said something about that. Talking about adding it, modifying it.
It would require when they came back and did that special exception to do training, then they would have to actually then come in and amend this one. So it would require them to do two
Oh, I see.
applicants. So if we,
Yeah.
so if we put prohibit training here, they would have to come and change this special exception and then apply for another special exception. So just to be rest assured, if it's not, they are not allowed to do training without a special exception. And so whether we add it in here or take it out here, it makes no difference. They can't do training unless they have a special exception.
Okay.
Okay, Tony, thoughts?
I based on what I'm hearing, the application that was submitted was not as complete as I thought it was, in terms of what it was we're approving here today. I mean, this is all documentation that's been submitted as an application, and it's boiling down to just the kennel and the dog. None of the training. I mean, there's a lot of things in here. I can quote some of it. You know, waste will be managed in full accordance with county regulations. Prevent nuisance behaviors like excessive barking through structure and environment. It's comments I've just heard, and comments that were in the thing that need to be addressed. And right now, I'm not sure the conditions, at least those two things I just mentioned, are addressing conditions. And
yeah, I mean, I see your point, Tony. Could we, you know, do you know how many there are, Tony? I mean,
how many there are what?
I mean, we could add a waste, you know, we could add that paragraph.
We did it the last one. I don't know, this one that didn't seem to make it into this one.
The adding in the waste per county standards.
Sure. I don't know how it read, the previous one.
Yeah, I don't know how it read, but
I'll find that for you.
Vivica's going to pull it up.
But what about what the noise concerns of the neighbors?
I think we discussed this at another kennel thing, and the county has noise regulations, and they have to, don't they have to basically abide by county noise regulations? John, is that the?
That's correct. They didn't have to abide by it. Keep in mind though, their state statute prohibits limitations on dog barking. There's very little we can actually do about it. But we can require that they comply with the noise ordinance as it's now passed.
Yeah, basically,
that would make
there had to be a complaint.
There would need to be a complaint, and it'd be enforced by the sheriff's office. It's a criminal statute, so the sheriff's office has the obligation to enforce it.
So is that worth putting in there, because the county takes care of that in essence? But we could say
you could say, I mean, they're required to do it, but we it's not unusual for us to mention things in the conditions, which are things they have to do anyway, such as as compliance with the general lighting requirements. Those are things they have to do anyway, but we specifically mention it to make sure they're aware of it, so you get compliance. So that they're, you could say that they're compliance with the county noise ordinance.
I would think that would be worth adding as well.
You could
we
put
have
that
time
in,
to do that. The
could be
reason
put in
being
maybe.
with the neighbors' concerns, it would be worth having it on paper, I believe.
So
Do the dogs stay in at night? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
Please, thank
couple
you.
questions. Yeah.
So I have 2 Great Pyrenees that are with the goats. I still have 4 goats. So they are the only dogs that would be barking at night. They keep aware of the bears. Before we had them, we had bears and coyotes. All the neighbors saw them roaming through the area, but we haven't lost any animals since those working dogs have been on the property, and they are sometimes the ones that are more vocal at night. So
And your fencing is maintained, and you don't have trouble with the dogs getting out, or?
no, any dogs that would be outside of fencing or inside of fencing, the dogs are never left unattended, because we also have 3 small children. Although our dogs are obedient and well socialized, we also don't leave the dogs unattended with anybody. So they're either in their kennel or they're with us training, or playtime, and then kennel, or in our home. Is that our home?
The kennel is outdoors?
We have the structure itself is outside, and we have dogs inside, but it will be closed in. It's being, the plans are being made for that.
Why don't we, very similar to item number 5 on the approval and conditions page, why don't we say complies with county standards for waste removal and county noise ordinances as well? I think, Tony, those are good additions to the thing.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure they go far enough though. I don't know that, I think we talked about this with last kennel, is that there is no regulations concerning dog waste, pet waste, with the landfill. I think the condition we put last did address taking it to an approved landfill.
correct.
Is that right?
On the Tomlin application, we added a condition that stated solid waste shall be disposed of at a permitted landfill.
That should suffice.
Let's go with me. That one, yeah. And I'm not familiar with the noise ordinance other than what we've talked about with amplified music and stuff like that from the other things, wedding venues and things like that. But I don't know how that addresses dog barking that might be outside.
I think we ran into that, and you were trying to tag it to an application for the one that we discussed previously, and we discussed it. It's not really feasible to put it on the application, but to follow standard noise ordinances for the county and or state. Because if you put it on the application, there's the staff of 2 that have to enforce it.
But see, I keep hearing the argument about enforcement. It's only going to have to be enforced if there's complaints, and the first complaint will be the sheriff's department. Future complaints could mean we have to take some action and take away the zoning exception or the special exception. I don't think conditions necessarily mean that the staff is going to be going out and checking on them. It's only if there's a complaint. And again, it's not handled otherwise. I mean, we've got a lot of these kennels coming, that's been doing that. I think we need to clean it up a little bit.
I hate to make them the guinea pig though, Tony, and try to clean up wouldn't be the appropriate word, but use them as a test case for new ordinances. But we don't want to burden the staff.
Not a new ordinance, a condition on this property. And you've got neighbors that are concerned, and they're valid concerns.
Did you say health concerns?
No, they say the neighbors have concerns. They're valid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, noise was a big one. In terms of waste, I think it's a little far-reaching to require disposal of pet waste at an approved landfill. I mean, if you have 22 acres, I mean, most people are going to spread it out and fertilize their yard and woods. So, I mean, I think that's a little far-reaching. If you lived in town or in a subdivision, I can see that. But in this particular instance, I think it's a little far-reaching.
Well, we're talking about a kennel with
3 kids. You're not going to let the dog poop
Right.
lay around where the
Right. So I'm not in favor of adding that one.
but we did it last time.
I wasn't here last time.
Okay. So if we put that in,
It's a simple enough statement. I think waste will be disposed of properly is basically what it's saying.
Excessive waste. Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's an ag zone. If it's a residential district, which we probably wouldn't approve it for, I could see that, but still, right. And it's 22 acres, not 2.
from what I hear here, we're going to try to get Cassidy's thing done here, Tony. I want to make sure your thoughts are covered, and we don't all have to agree, but you know, a mention of a noise issue, but I don't want to make it so that we are the enforcers, you know, because the county has a noise ordinance, and that we just don't want to extend that burden. I know what you're saying about there's only an enforcement action if there's a complaint, but still, you are putting that burden on the staff. And we would be putting that burden on the staff, and I'm not comfortable doing that. So,
well, I mean, it goes back to, I thought I had a simple solution is that using their very well thought out business plan and application. And I'm now discovering it's not, it doesn't accurately describe what we're approving right now.
well, but it's better than what they applied for because it doesn't involve training. So it's easier on the county and the neighbors than when it was training.
I'll grant you that. Traffic creates that situation, you know, that any traffic going down a private lane.
John, didn't this issue come up at the Board of Supervisors meeting like a month ago? And there was a citizen in talking about decibel levels and everything like that. And it seems to me that we've got overriding ordinances anyway for the citizens.
But we will actually, the noise ordinance actually will be in their next, we're having a public hearing at our next Board of Supervisors meeting to
That's what I meant,
address
to
the
setting it up
amendment
for
to
a
the
public
noise ordinance.
hearing.
Yeah.
Now, truthfully, I don't see us doing anything until you have something like that. I sympathize. I don't want to have the noise. I mean, that was a nice letter and everything, but if we get this, then we have something for everybody, whether you have 22 acres or whether you have 4 acres or you have 100 acres. You know, we had that with the winery out there earlier that evidently they solved. But I think we ought to let the noise ordinance that the Board of Supervisors approved guide everything.
Are you saying we should hold their application until we have the noise ordinance in place?
I mean, I'm all for getting it done tonight. I mean, I don't think, what are we going to do? We're just going to put in compliance with the county noise ordinance. It doesn't matter. As soon as the ordinance is enforced and approved by the Board of Supervisors, we all,
Good point. Yeah, I agree.
All have to
Yeah,
approve it.
I agree, Bob.
And to clarify, there is a noise ordinance currently in place. They're just discussing potentially
Modifications.
modifications to the existing.
If you say stay on
It's
county ordinance, any
Stay-
modification that
and-
goes underneath it still has to
That's
apply
right.
to
That's
it.
perfect. That works great.
That works.
So we'll put that little blurb in there like a lighting requirement.
What's this section on a noise ordinance? So I know we have general lighting, but
I should know that. I figured when
Is it necessary? Do we think it's necessary to put a condition in there about the noise?
Well, I mean, it's not necessary, but they could,
Okay.
the planning commission could recommend it if they would like
Okay,
to.
okay.
And I can find this section for it.
Has anybody ever complained about the noise from your goats?
I don't think so.
They can be pretty noisy.
They're not too bad.
they're not as bad. They just jump on cars.
Only 4 now.
Hogs.
Oh,
I mean, it is A2 and we are Ag County.
Any more discussion? Tony?
No, no, I mean, I hear what you're all saying. I understand. I just, I think,
We could use it just like a lot of stuff we have. It could use a little work on the overall before we get here, you know.
well, yeah, I agree. I mean, we get the draft conditions, you know, shortly before the meeting, and
But not that, just our own statutes and regulations as well, but that's extremely time consuming and we're understaffed as it is. But I agree with you, that could use a little work. So
Right, the section in the county code is section 4-43.
4-43.
Actually, why don't we probably better because that's just covering a certain portion of it. It's Rockbridge County Code Chapter 4 Article
Chapter 4
Article IV4, so Roman numeral 4, regulation of noise, and say that they comply with.
So Chapter 4 Article 4.
Yeah, comply with Rockbridge County Code Chapter 4 Article 4 regulation of noise. And that would make it clear what we're talking about.
down.
You
get it, Adam? Yeah.
Try.
Is somebody have it open right now? I mean, how would it address dogs barking?
It only addresses noise in general. And we're actually have certain limitations by state statute as to targeting dogs directly, especially in agricultural zones. But it's appropriate to put in, you have to comply with the noise ordinance. Or if there's other things you want to put in, because these are recommendations to the board of supervisors, we could.
But the noise ordinance though is, it's got like time.
Yeah, it's loud noises. Mainly, noise ordinance generally tries to regulate it by saying it has a certain level of audibility. So noises that bother, I forget the exact language we look at it, and then it's mainly regulated by time. You're correct.
Right, and so the dogs can bark on the weekends later than they can.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So it's the idea behind the noise ordinance that the board of supervisors adopted is that we're trying to control mainly loud noises, after certain times. Currently it's after 10 p.m. on weekdays, which means through
11, isn't it?
Oh, that's right, 11 on Monday through Sunday through Thursday, and Friday and Saturday it's midnight, or 12:59 p.m. So that's what's currently being considered by the board of supervisors to change those time, which might happen at our next board meeting.
And Ms. Biggin, I know we said 5 and 2 on dogs, but it's more of a elongated time frame. Do you see yourself taking immediately 5 dogs within 1 3-5 year standard or anything like that? Just to address the concern on the amount of dogs.
I wouldn't be able to speak to that just because whatever God intends for us, we go with that. And so I'm not sure what the future holds for us, but I guess it could be possible. Maybe it's not possible, but
homeschooling will be good for you too.
Yes.
So. But I appreciate that. That's
yes.
it. That's it on my end.
Okay. All right. Further discussion, gentlemen? Anthony?
Can we read the conditions as they are now?
Well, I tell you what, we're going to, I think from what I'm feeling here, would any commission member like to make a motion?
I make a motion to recommend, you can have a seat, by the way. I make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors that the application for special exception permit to develop and operate a commercial kennel dog breeding business in the agricultural and general uses A2 zoning district per LDR 603.03-5 on the west side of Sandstone Lane, identified as tax map number 87-9-15, be approved with the following conditions. 1, all breeding, raising, and caring of dogs shall take place in the existing dwelling, 345 Sandstone Lane, Glasgow, Virginia, 24450. 2, breeding shall be limited to German Shepherds. 3, it's limited to 5 female dogs and 2 male dogs, excluding puppies 16 weeks or younger and personal pets, but which shall include visiting stud dogs. 4, boarding and grooming operations shall be prohibited. 5, compliance with section 1303 general lighting requirements and section 1303.04 general design requirements of the County of Rockbridge land development regulations. Also, we said, and 6 would be in ordinance with Rockbridge County Chapter 4 Article 4 regulation of noise code.
It'd be compliance with.
compliance with the noise code for the county.
And to clarify, were we adding solid waste as well?
I left the waste off.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that, but
I'll
okay,
second.
we have a motion. Adam Sandridge made a motion and Bob Kramer seconded. All those in favor?
And I don't know how to parliamentary properly, but are we adding waste or not?
Well, there's a motion on the floor that have to vote with it. And my understanding the vote.
There's a motion, Tony, without the waste in there.
All right.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Me, no.
We have Commission Member Sandridge voted yes. Commission Member Kramer voted yes. Commission Member Whitmore voted yes. Commission Member Sabrizi voted no. And I vote yes. The motion carries 4-1. Thank you, Cass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can we take a quick break?
Yep, we are going to take a quick break. Sorry about that. We have a request. 2 minutes. Bob, quick as you can. Quick as you can.
Quick as you can, brother.
Oh, no, it's not a problem. Should be able to answer that top of my head. And dealing with it next week. Yeah, if you just walk down on your right, there'll be I think it's before the vending machines.
Yeah. This isn't that big a deal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey, just pull it a hair closer. It's off to the side.
Sorry, I got dehydrated on the plane. Since I got back, I'm trying to get hydrated.
Good.
Is it
Oh.
ready to receive? That was it.
Oh. We just do the best we can.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Are the Moors back? I believe I saw them head out.
Everybody's starting.
That's right there. Mr. Moore, are you guys ready? I'll call it up. Okay, you're good for a second. I just want to make sure the Moors are present. Okay, everybody ready? The next item on the agenda is Gobind Moore, Savraj Moore, and Amrit Moore public hearing application for a zoning map amendment to rezone a portion of tax parcel 60-8-C from the residential general R1 zoning district to the agricultural transitional AT zoning district. This time staff will do a quick presentation and then Go Ben. Sorry, Go Ben. He'll be up in just a second. Neil, go ahead.
Yes, the property is owned by Goben Moore, Savage Moore, and Amaret Moore, and is located on the north side of West Midland Trail, Route 60, approximately 0.265 miles west of the intersection of West Midland Trail and Bell Road, Route 666. The property is further identified as tax map number 60-8-C, and the total property is 51.21 acres per tax records. The property is currently split zoned with 24.8 acres in the residential general R1 district and the remaining acres, 26.41 in the agricultural transitional. The application is to rezone the portion of the property that is in the R1 district to the AT district. The property is in the Cars Creek Magisterial District.
Thank you, Neil. Go Ben, would you like to come to the podium, please? Did I get it right that time? I think I did. Okay.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tony, can you hear me?
Tony, is your mic on or off? Yeah.
Yep, I'm back on. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if y'all have had the chance to read the cover letter that I sent. If so, I won't repeat it. But just
We got you.
The long story short, my family has been farming this particular field for the last 6 generations as hay field. And when zoning was introduced to Lexington in the 1970s, my grandfather was still alive. And he died in 2023, at which time the land passed to my aunt and my 3 siblings. And we sold half of the land that was left to us at that time. And and my siblings and I kept this remaining parcel as part of our inheritance in lieu of cash that went to my aunt. We're continuing. So when it changed hands at that point beyond inheritance, it was rezoned or went into the residential zoning effect there, which doubled our taxes. So this year we have already paid more in taxes for this hayfield, which is still an operational hayfield, than we paid last year. And it is still being operated as a hayfield at this time.
And I think from your notes, Susan Showalter currently leases
Correct.
the land. And is it, how long is the lease of that, or is it?
It's indefinite.
Okay.
Until we have a problem
don't know,
with
because
them.
I know sometimes we do farming too, and we contract it. We do year to year or however we ever do it. But I get that.
And then she's been,
Sometimes it's a shake of a hand.
yeah, she's been operating on our land since the 70s.
When was the last time they do it this year? They took hay off this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They produce and store the hay on our property.
I think of those pictures are as of this year.
Correct.
Okay.
Fortunately, we got around to doing this after the hay had already been cut, or I would have given y'all some, big fields of hay pictures as well.
That's always fun.
That's all right. All right. Questions for Gobin before we open the public
I
hearing?
have a question, but after the hearing.
Okay. Tony?
Is there, there's actually a parcel within a parcel.
Correct. The interior parcel there, 45 Southland Trace, belongs to our mother.
And is there any residence on the outside parcel? I don't.
No.
The plan to?
No.
This is something I would like the staff, could you show the whole area there? Because it's like it's part of a residential tract going out Route 11. And I don't think that picture you showed previously kind of shows that. Neil, could you do that for the?
Hold on just a minute. It's coming up. And so this would be Route 60, west there, and it would comprise some residential zoning. Also some business area there close by.
I'm not seeing it. Can you share it?
Hold on just a minute, Tony. It's coming.
Okay.
Okay.
Tony, did you have any questions for Govan?
No, actually, these are staff questions.
Okay. Govan, if you want to have a seat. Does anybody else have a question for Govan?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Govan, thank you.
Okay. Can you zoom out even more?
Should we do that after we open the public? We should go through the public hearing portion first, shouldn't we?
I would say
Yeah, generally discussion by commissioners after the close of public
Hey,
hearing.
hey, Tony, we'll do that discussion. Hold those thoughts. We're going to do it
Got
right
it.
after yeah. Okay. At this time, we're going to open the public hearing. Neil, is there anyone physically present who would like to speak?
Yes, there's one individual, Ryan Brayman.
How are you, Ron?
Good evening, gentlemen, ma'am. I'm Ryan Brayman. I'm the gentleman who Gobin and his family sold the other half of their farmland to. Also the neighbor with the most contiguous border with him. So I'm just here to voice my approval for his plan and to let you know, as the neighbor who would be most affected by his request to rezone, that I just fully support it. That's all I want to say.
You have a nice backyard.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. That's it for the physically present. Is there anybody Zoom or online?
No one has their hand raised.
Okay. Let's see. Any objections to closing the public hearing? No. Public hearing is closed. Hey, Tony, now would be a good time to address those thoughts there.
Yeah. If you can pull that back up. I mean, as a commission, we've addressed this kind of thing before. I'm waiting for it to come. Okay, it's coming up. And I understand about the zoning. I did ask staff about how does something become split zoned, because that to me doesn't make sense. Most of the residential zoned area is in this particular part. Not that there's not other places that are zoned. Most of this is goes along property lines. I mean, clearly the folks that made the zoning saw this area as potential residential area. I'm trying to imagine. I mean, I don't have any of these facts on why this was. I mean, obviously, Midland Trail in this area. You got Mount Vista, you got Buckland, you got obviously some businesses right there, and because it's it's right next to the city border there. That I mean, I think there was rationale for zoning this way. I can't explain the split zone part. I also asked staff about water and and utilities going out there. I think most of you might know Osage Lane there is where the Maury Service Authority draws the water. That green section there, I guess that's C1. And
so
then
I guess there are a number of different facets to that, in that So prior to 2008, the areas shaded in pink here would not have existed. So those are the areas that are denoting the agricultural transitional zone, which was created in 2008. And then also at that time, about that, the period where the AT was created was when potentially public water and sewer would have continued on out West Midland Trail. But that is most likely not in the foreseeable future at this time. And then, of course, you see some red areas there that are zone business with some business areas there, some screen printing. The outdoor shop was there in that red area. But then the accessibility of West Midland Trail led to most likely the advent of the residential zoning there, and then the Buckland subdivision as zoning came about in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then those areas that are agricultural transitional then butt up against the Maury River on that side. So they moved into AT, and agricultural transitional was foreseen as a buffer between residential and more rural uses and more heavy ag. So, but as far as split zone, there are many parcels around the county that are split zoned. Zoning historically may not follow property lines.
But you're saying that AT was created, what was it before in 2008, and that far ago?
Prior to that, it would just been straight ag. It would have been the A2. Okay. Mr. Moore is saying that that specific property was residential at that time.
And well, again, we don't know the rationales necessarily.
Well, and to give you an idea, so across the county, there's about 14,000 acres of agricultural transitional, and there's about 199,000 acres of A2 agricultural general uses, and about 96,000 acres of A1 limited ag. So that gives you a little bit of perspective there on the breakdown between those districts.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this particular thing here. It doesn't, I don't know. It seems like this is prime residential property. At least from the original zoning standpoint, is that they thought that in that. Again, I don't know. Is there any expansion of water planned anywhere? Does anybody know? Because that's the same argument we had down in when we went from a business to AT down in the natural. Well, I think that's Natural Bridge area. Not too long ago, we seem to be going the wrong direction on AT. Is what I'm trying to say.
At the current time, there's a moratorium on extending public water and public sewer by the Public Service Authority. I mean, we have no way of knowing what the future will hold with that, but that is currently in effect.
So this is land, if converted to ag, will never be able to be residential.
I don't think that's true, because it's a transitional zone. This process could happen in the reverse 5 years from now.
Correct? AT does allow single family use, of course.
Yeah.
Right, but it's limited to parcel size, right? It'd have to be subdivided, right, to a certain size. It can't be.
Correct. There is a minimum 2 acre minimum lot size. Mm-hmm.
Is there, if it remained residential, there's no restrictions on them on taking hay off of that. Is that correct or not?
No, essentially, they can continue to use it as it's been used, but when it came out, when it changed ownership, then at that point it came out of land use taxation, and so the portion that is residential, although it can produce hay, it is not seen by the Commissioner of Revenue as an agricultural producing.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. From a zoning standpoint, from a land use standpoint, there's no. I mean, you couldn't put a chicken house on it right now, right?
Correct. You could not come in and put an agricultural structure in that yellow shaded area, but you can continue to produce hay there.
But after you did it, you could put chicken house on it now, then, based on what we've learned, I think last meeting.
Well, if it fell
Well,
within
when-
all the other guidelines and there's setback
Right.
requirements and stuff, it would be a challenge, but yes, theoretically.
When you say a chicken house, it would be, there would be a definition of livestock confinement.
The livestock confinement, which is something you would not necessarily want next to a residential.
But that also brings in a host of other requirements from setback and engineering and erosion sediment control.
I understand. That's all I have.
Yeah, well, thank you, Tony. My feeling is that, this is farmland. It's always been farmland. I hate to see the Moors punished for.
Yeah.
So, okay. Any other thoughts, gentlemen? Anybody like to make a motion?
I make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors that the application to rezone 24.8 acre portion of the property currently as a residential general R1 zoning district identified as tax map number 60-8-C located on the north side of West Midland Trail, Route 60, approximately 0.087 miles northeast of the intersection of West Midland Trail and Southland Trace to the AT or agricultural transition zoning district be approved.
Second.
We have a motion in 2 seconds. Sorry, John. We have a motion in a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Sorry, Tony, a little delayed there. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Item number 8, Apex Towers public hearing application to construct a 190-foot tall telecommunications tower in the agricultural transitional AT zoning district. Neil, would you like to make a presentation?
Yeah, I have a few things here. Bear with me.
You have a comment.
Hey guys, if you want to leave, you can.
Yeah.
You guys been here long enough, but so it's all right. Okay. Sorry, Tom. I just figured.
No.
Go ahead.
Jump in anytime.
Okay, so the application before you is by Apex Towers LLC to place for the potential to place build and construct a telecommunications tower in the agricultural transitional zoning district. It's been a while since we've had a cell tower before us, so I thought we would go over some of the basics here. The representative of the applicant, I know that he'll go over some of the other details as well, but I just figured I'd give a high level view here before we get into the application itself. As I'm sure you guys are aware, there's several different types of cell towers within Rockbridge County as well as outside. The 3 main types that we see here are lattice towers. You guys might also be familiar with that term, I guess, from the Dominion Power applications. Obviously, those aren't cell towers, but the type of structure. And then monopole towers, which are here in the middle. And then we have the cell towers, which are disguised to fit better into the area. Divided amongst those, the different types of antenna include a wide array antenna and a flush mount antenna. Those essentially vary the distance that the antennas sit from the pole of the cell tower. So this application, the property under consideration is owned by CW Cash Inc. and is identified as tax map number 28-14, 28-A-14F. And you can see here, it's the yellow parcel highlighted on the map there. The property consists of approximately 3.12 acres and is completely within the AT Agricultural Transitional Zoning District. The owner of this property also owns several other properties in the area. Per section 603B.03-16 of the Land Development Regulations, telecommunication facilities and wireless facilities are used by special exception in the AT zoning district. The applicant, Apex Towers LLC, is proposing the construction of a 95-foot monopole cell tower with a 4-foot antenna on top, totaling 99 feet. In this case, a flush mount design will be utilized, and I'll let the applicant explain more about that in the presentation. So looking at the conditions that could be utilized, essentially we have substantial compliance with the site plan. The antennas shall not be greater than a blank inch standoff. We can discuss that as we go. The pole shall have a dull gray galvanized finish. Tree clearing shall not take place between April 1st and November 14th, as noted in the National Environmental Policy Act report submitted with the application. And approval is contingent upon VDOT, Rockbridge County Building Department, and erosion and sediment control approvals and all applicable state and federal regulations. So with that being said, I'll invite Dale Hill to come forward to give more information here.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be in Rockbridge County one more time.
Welcome.
Yep.
And bear with me, I'll pull up your presentation here.
Will you be clicking it?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can go ahead.
Bear with me here.
Okay, as Vivica stated, it is over in the Raffine area up on the hill from the truck stop on the north side of 81. And it's on the property of CW Cash Incorporated. What we had originally designed for this site was a wide array tower. Early discussions with the county, they felt that a close array mount would be much better. From a standpoint of a tower owner, we like wide array because it's much easier to maintain, much more accessible, of ease of accessibility. But what we have changed the design to is a close mount array. With this, the tower would be, there's about three in this one.
Okay, sorry, it's loading.
With this, the face of the antenna would be within 28 inches of the face of the tower and bring it in close mount. The reason it's tougher for us to maintain, any additions or maintenance to this tower would require a crane, which is not a problem. But it's much more aesthetically pleasing to have the close mount as suggested by planning. As you can see here, the array of antenna as compared to the face of the tower, once again, would not exceed 28 inches. And it's a 195-foot structure that's being proposed with an overall height of 199 feet, including the lightning rod on top. It's being designed as a 5-tenant tower, and that's to meet the standards of the county. And there would also be free space offered to the county for emergency services on the structure. The view of the tower, you can see this is from over across the road on Steels Fort Road, looking back across both truck stops. And you can see one thing we did on the photo simulations, we left the wide array antennas in place instead of taking them to the close mount. Because when we took them to the close mount, we wanted you to see the tower, but when we took them to close mount, oftentimes you could not detect that the tower was even there. So we put the wide array antennas back on. The county gave us 7 spots that they wanted photo simulations performed from. And we've flown a balloon out there twice now, one for photo simulations and one for the citizens of the county to be able to view the height of the tower. It was visible from 3 locations, which were furnished by the county. The first location is over top of the pallet convenience store and truck stop. The second one would be off Radmore Drive. And I'm sorry, Ridmore. And the third location is again a second view from Ridmore. You can see another tower to the right. That's not ours. We're kindly tucked in the trees there if you follow the yellow arrow down. It's just barely visible. From Steels Fort Road, and then again from the southeast view of Steels Fort Road, it was not visible. Not visible from Eastview Lane. Ridge Road with a western view was not visible. And not visible from Raffine Road from a northwest view. A second view from Raffine Road, still not visible. There are other towers in the area, and the carrier which we have engaged for this site is AT&T, and they have, through engineering studies, have decided none of the other towers would be suitable. A lot of that has to do with propagation. The next few slides, I've taken the tower at Oakland Circle to give you a little idea of what they run into when they're looking at engineering concerns. If we would stand back off the side of I-81 and look back at the profile of the land, one more hit, Vivica. You can see how the tower would project its signal. And the peaks and valleys, which we see a lot in Rockbridge County, sometimes limit the array of which we can propagate. This next one shows a better view. This one looks back at the truck stop proper, the Petro, and you can see how the peaks are blocking the signal. I heard you earlier on mention Margaret Ann before we got going today. She loads cattle over in this area, and they stage trucks at the truck stop. And then she hires someone to run back and forth to tell the truck when the next one needs to come over because they have no signal. So that area, and then the area out to Steels Fort Road, which you can see in the next slide, is completely blocked. And it's due to the peaks that it's trying to propagate over. The nearest off-site dwelling or dwelling period located in close proximity to the tower would be 846 feet, a little over that. So we're well outside the range of what you require. Fall zone is always a consideration that we try to maintain and we try to be cognizant of. We design our towers with a weak need design at Apex. So in the event of a major catastrophic event, the tower collapses inside the compound area, inside the fenced area. And you can see here within a 20-foot area of the base of the tower. You click again, I think it will.
Oh, I apologize.
It just falls down within itself, basically. And we've supplied a letter from the tower engineer explaining how that happens. The compound area would be encased with a 6-foot chain link fence with 2 feet of barbed wire on top of it. This would be the compound area. There was a question today that Vivica had about the area of disturbance. We have a 100 by 100 foot, 10,000 feet lease area. The compound area would be 50 by 50. So it's somewhere between those two. We can't go outside the 100 by 100 foot area, and it would definitely be at least the 50 by 50 foot area for the disturbance. And that's total tree removal and all. Questions that anyone may have or concerns?
So you're saying 50 by 50, 100 by 100, and based on the geographical or topical map, how, I mean, acreage, I deal in farms, so acreage, how many acres of trees going down within that sector?
It's within a 10,000 square foot area, no more than that. Yes. So much less than an acre.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we try to keep our footprints very small.
First name again, I'm sorry.
Dale.
Sorry, Dale.
It's fine.
What's it called? Propagation
Yes.
studies or maps? Is it possible to see a propagation map? You can't do it. No.
You can't ask for it.
Okay.
We
can ask.
We
but you
can
don't
ask,
have
but
to
we cannot
deliver.
require.
They don't have to give it to you, and
Okay.
they won't.
Okay.
I use it as I'm going to open up a business, and before I get my business open, I don't want to tell the next competitor exactly what I'm going to do. So it was passed in '96, I think.
That's
And the General
understandable.
Assembly took that away.
It would be
And
nice to see
There's a
whether it's
couple of
needed or
carriers
not.
that
but
still
yeah.
do. This is
Yeah.
one carrier that won't.
Okay.
When we did the tower down on the Smith farm, we were able to get good propagation maps. And
Yeah, I just know because I live in Fairfield. I know that prospective company doesn't get service where I'm at because I'm in Nate Valley. So I'm Verizon, but I was just trying to gauge it on range of effectiveness and everything else, but they can't happen.
yeah, it's mostly propagating, to answer your question better, toward the Petro and over through that area,
Okay.
as opposed to coming back to the northwest. That's the area they're looking at.
Okay.
There will be some propagation, but it will be more limited. The main focus area is back over Steelsport Road, the Petro, and over through there.
Okay.
And a lot of that is due to capacity. There's just not capacity there to handle everything. How many times have you been in your car, you drop a phone call, but your kid in the back seat can still play their game or text or whatever? Because voice takes secondary to data, and there's a capacity.
This is for AT&T, correct?
Yes, sir.
And AT&T will sell space on that tower to other providers, or
We
no?
are the owner of the tower. Apex will own the tower,
Okay.
and we rent space to AT&T, and we
Or-
will rent space to other companies who wish to co-locate on the tower.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Can I ask a question about, you mentioned wide area array versus there was another term you used, and I guess it was recommended by the.
Yes.
What's the difference? Why would we recommend one over the other?
It's more aesthetically pleasing.
But those pictures you showed, those simulations were with a wide area.
We showed you the simulations with the wide area so you could see it better.
He wanted you
He
to
showed
see,
both.
to get a
He
better
showed
viewpoint of the
worst-case
tower,
scenario
Tony.
of the tower.
He showed us best case and worst case.
Well, I'm saying that's the worst case, but it didn't seem that bad to me. That's, I guess, why I was wondering why. I mean, I don't know what you say you prefer the wide area.
We prefer the wide area because it's easier to maintain the service.
But your proposal is, what's the other one called?
Close mount.
Closed mount because of the aesthetic, because it looks better.
Yes. Less detected in the sky.
Do we have others wide arrays in our county now?
You have some older ones, I think.
I believe most of the recent ones have been the flush mount or close mount designs. If not, and I know that there was a stealth mount.
It's in Fairfield. It's a stealth one in Fairfield.
And then the one on the Smith farm is an internal mount.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one down on Route 11 down?
Yeah, it looks like just a big tube in the air.
Yeah. Okay. I was always curious of what that was.
That's ours. All the antennas on that one are mounted inside.
You couldn't do that there?
We would not like to do that ever again. Every time that tower service, they seem not to get the panels back in place.
Okay.
You have a windstorm, and Margaret Ann calls me, and half of the panels are back down on the ground. Or Chris calls me because he can see it from his house and says, you need to look at that. And then once they hit the ground, they're destroyed. I have pine trees that are easier to maintain than that tower. That's
Well, I don't think it works very well either because I always lose signal right there as you go down Buffalo Creek.
Buffalo Creek was a tough area. It's better than it was, but then as we look at the peaks and valleys in Rockbridge County, it will not let it propagate down through Buffalo Creek.
Okay, I'm saying the picture you showed, and I saw the balloon when it was up, and I just I mean I couldn't. I mean I realized I wouldn't want it necessarily next door to me, but I understand the necessity of those. That's all I have.
Gentlemen, that's good.
On the site plan,
Yes, sir.
typically there's like, of course, this is in a wooded area you're going to be clearing. So are we not requiring any type of screening because the screening's already there? Essentially, is that like typically we require row of
What we were proposing, because the screening's there. If I, usually it's white pines that the jurisdiction wants, and if I put white pines there, you're not going to see 6-foot white pines with what's already there.
Right.
It's a very, very thick area. Yeah, we had a time getting through the briars and cleared out enough to even get a bullet.
Bob, anything? See if
I'm fine.
Okay. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you.
There may be some further questions,
Okay.
but at this time, we'll open the public hearing. Is there anybody physically present who would like to speak?
There was no one signed up to speak.
Thank you. Is there anyone via computer or phone?
I see no hands raised.
Okay. Are there any objections to closing the public hearing, or would the commission like to continue the public hearing to the next planning commission meeting June 11th at 7 p.m.? Any opinions?
Just close it.
Want to close it? Tony?
Yep.
All right. We'll consider the public hearing closed. Gentlemen, we should have a discussion about the application. Any further discussion? Any further discussion?
I find it very interesting that nobody is speaking.
Yeah.
We got 195 foot, whatever, and when people go, yeah, myself included on.
I understand, and I drove out there being a resident in the north end of the county when they had the balloons up, and it's a pretty well selected site. Pretty hard to see that balloon, even in the areas where you can see it from a photographic perspective. It's really low on the horizon, so it's a pretty good site. It really does aim out towards the truck stops, and behind it, if you're up on Ridge Road, which is one of the highest spots in the county, you can see it, but it's still real low on the horizon. So as far as location goes, I think it's a pretty good location. So,
yeah, I don't have a problem with that because I think it is a good location. I think it serves Rockbridge County.
Okay. All right. In that case, would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll do it. I make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors that the application for a special exception permit to construct a telecommunications tower in the agricultural transitional AT zoning district be approved with the following conditions.
And I'm sorry to interrupt. We didn't quite have the discussion about the blank on number 2.
Oops.
And so to clarify, since it is going to be that flush mount or close mount design, the industry standard, my understanding, is 28 inches, and that's what they had proposed in their site plan. So I apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Be approved with the following conditions. Number 1, substantial compliance with schematic site plans dated May 2, 2025 with a revision date of September 9, 2025, prepared by NB&C Engineering Services, LLC, on file in the Office of Community Development. Number 2, all proposed and future antennas shall not be greater than a 28-inch standoff. Number 3, the pole shall have a dull gray galvanized finish. Number 4, tree clearing shall not take place between April 1st and November the 14th, as noted in the National Environmental Policy Act NEPA report submitted with the application. And number 5, approval contingent upon Virginia Department of Transportation, Rockbridge County Building Department, and erosion and sediment control approvals and all applicable state and federal regulations.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's a unanimous motion to carry. It passes. Thank you very much, Dale. Okay, the next item 9 on is the zoning text amendment, public hearing. Rockbridge County application to modify section 603B.02-2 of the County of Rockbridge Land Development Regulations to remove language that prohibits livestock confinement systems in the agricultural transition AT zoning district. I don't know if John's going to take this one or Neil's going to take this one, or Vivica's going to take this one.
Well, yes, under the current definitions in the agricultural transitional zone, livestock confinement systems are prohibited. And so this zoning text amendment would strike that prohibition of prohibiting them in the AT district. However, it does not affect or take away the other requirements as far as setback, engineering, erosion, sediment, and that type thing. So it would just be removing that language there. Because currently, livestock confinement systems are not a permitted use or a use by special exception in the AT district.
Thank you, Neil. I think we've all beat this one up pretty good. Tony, we've all thought about this one, Dave. Yep. So
it sounds like to me there's no choice, right?
This is what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess, the public hearing is Neil. Is there anybody present to speak?
There's no one signed up to speak.
How about via Zoom or phone?
And there's no one with their hand raised.
Are there any objections to closing the public hearing, guys?
Nope.
We will close the public hearing. Would anybody like to make a motion? I guess I should ask for further discussion first. Any further discussion?
No.
Just recognize that there were a few county citizen comments, I guess, who are currently residents in the AT district concerned about the potential of, confined animal operations moving in when they bought the land, thinking it was protected essentially. So, understanding the letter that you sent out to Mr. Dryden about the, we're not following state code necessarily by doing this.
This is my legal opinion is that it's in violation of state code that we're not allowed to restrict any agriculture uses in areas zoned agriculture. So the only way to restrict it would be to change the zoning.
It's a bigger issue.
Yeah, we can do setbacks, but those are generally applicable to what's generally applicable. We can setbacks or additional requirements that are generally applicable, but nothing specific to restricting agriculture.
It's interesting. This requires a motion, but let's do it. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to.
Thank you, Tony. We have a motion.
And that'd be to recommend to the Board of Supervisors.
Right.
The recommendation instead of a motion.
You go ahead and do it as a motion. I think it's the appropriate thing to hear. So
I make a motion.
Language.
Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Make a motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors that we strike those lines and be compliant with state code.
We have a motion. We have a second.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nay. There are no nays. The motion carries unanimously. Any other business for the good of the order?
There are no further agenda items for this evening.
Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it, then third it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is adjourned. Thank you all.
Very nice.
Have a good time at the beach, Tony.
Thank you, Tony,
Hey.
for calling in. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been miserable all week here. I know you go.
Yeah, I'm sure it has
Election
been.
ladies are very.
No, it has
What's
really.
that? The weather's
Is
been
it
miserable?
cold? Is it
Oh
cold?
yeah. It's they're some front off the coast, and it's just. I mean, yesterday it was complete restriction of for swimming and surfing and all that stuff. Today
They're catching fish like crazy down there right now. Drums are hitting on the pier.
Go
on the
fishing,
pier.
Tony.
Yeah, my wife's been doing surf fishing, but it's almost impossible. Kicks it back to you. So.
Oh,
Oh,
but I'm watching it Avon and everything. They're catching drums and they're monsters right now.
We've seen those too.
Formats too.
I told my wife she's the fisher person, but I told her she should try that out, but she hadn't yet.
And you're at the Outer Banks now?
Yes, yes.
I caught it. I saw it in the background. It's a kitty hawk.
Hey, Tony, good night. Viva